Okie dokie, I just want to do a video update. Now the other day I was trying to do a video about cloning your hard drive with Clonezilla, and my phone refused to zoom in. I wanted to show you something. Right, so I'm using my phone. Now look, it zooms in now. I honestly, this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this phone, right, I don't think I've updated it. I don't know if it's my phone or it's Streamlabs. I think it's Streamlabs, to be honest with you, because it's buggy. So the other day when I was trying to zoom into my computer, it wouldn't zoom in. But now it does. So I ended up cutting the video short, right? Which is really annoying. Now I can flip cameras. Yeah, I can flip cameras as well. And will it zoom in on here as well? Yes, it will. Let's see. Right. Oh, I haven't got. Oh shit! Have I got my other microphone on as well? It'd be too sound. No. All right. So I wanted to go over this a little bit because it's important you know about this, because if you clone your SSD, hang on a minute. Put a light on. Right, let's say you've got a solid state drive like this, 120 gigabyte, and you put your operating system on. This is 120 gigabyte, right? And Zorin, Linux, Ubuntu, it's all one basically thing, really, but it's all multiple evolution of the operating system. It goes back way back, right? The history of the tree branch and all that stuff, and all the different variations that come off it, and even Mac came from it. Now, one of the funny things about Linux is it's fairly easy to expand your hard drive. I mean, as in move your operating system to a bigger hard drive. But Linux isn't like other operating systems like Windows. It allocates blocks. It allocates the disk. That's why you don't have to defrag it. You don't have to defrag Linux operating system, because it allocates areas of a disk for certain files and certain places where it stores it. A bit like a filing cabinet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it puts things in a certain place. So when you come to, if you want to shrink your Linux operating system, your hard drive, it's a little bit difficult. It's not easy. It's not straightforward like it is with Windows. It will often throw up an error and no, you can't do that, because it might have allocated an address at the end of your hard drive and it's set to unmovable, and you can't move it without a lot of moving, jiggery pokery, like moving addresses around and stuff like that, and it gets extremely complicated. So the workaround is quite simple, really. Whenever you format a new hard drive to use with Linux, it's a good idea to format a little partition right at the end of the drive, say 5 gig or 10 gig. It depends how big your hard drive is. If it's a 120 gigabyte drive like this one, you don't want to give away all that to a reserve, do you? You don't want to reserve a large chunk of that. So maybe a couple of gigabyte, reserve a couple of gigabyte at the end of the drive as another partition, like NTFS or create a FAT32 or something, I would probably suggest you created something like NTFS at the end of the drive, so that when your Linux is installed, it doesn't use all of the drive, it only uses the first partition. That way, over time, as blocks get retired, because blocks do get retired on a solid state drive, every so many thousands of, or is it millions, of writes and reads and writes, the drive will start to shrink, right? You'll notice that instead of 120 gigabyte, it's now 119 gigabyte, then 118 gigabyte. So the problem happens when you made a backup image, right? So you've used Clonezilla. Clonezilla has made a backup image of your hard drive of 120 gigabyte, right? Let's just say, just keep it simple, right? But after, say, maybe a couple of years or something of use, or maybe 5 years, depending on how much use you put through it, really, your drive shrinks. So and something goes wrong. Oh, I've got a backup. Yeah, cool, I've got a backup, right. So you go to restore your backup, and it throws up an error. Can't do that. You think, what the hell? This image, this came off this hard drive. Why won't it restore? What's wrong with my image? Is my image messed up? No, your drive's got smaller. That's what happened. And now you're trying to restore to an area of the disk that's been retired, so it won't do it anymore. That's why you need to keep the drive a little bit smaller, right, when you install it, so that when it comes the day when you need to restore from a backup image, you can simply delete that reserve partition that was at the end of the drive to give you the full, well, it won't be the full, but it'll have the extra room that you need to restore the image, right? Get it? So that way you can restore your backup image without it throwing a fit, basically, and saying you can't do that. So that's one way around it. So the problem I've got at the moment, the reason I know about this is because I installed Zorin Linux operating system on a brand new 120 gigabyte SSD. Well, it's not this one, it's in the machine right now. Brand new one. And I wanted to make a clone copy. And I wanted to clone the copy of my existing Linux operating system onto an older SSD, which had got retired blocks. And it said, this disk is too small. So now I've got to buy another brand new SSD, 120 gig or higher, or bigger, to restore the image to, in order to be able to make a clone copy of it, basically. You see, if I'd installed it, if my good copy was on a good new disk, sorry, on an older disk, right, and I made a clone copy of the older disk, and I wanted to restore it to a newer disk, I wouldn't have had a problem. It would have been fine, because the newer disk would have had more blocks, more unretired blocks. But because there are retired blocks on these older discs, it won't fit. It's a bit, I don't know how to put it really. How else can I explain it? I mean, it's like when you get your socks wet, they shrink, don't they? Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought that might help someone out there. If you're trying to scratch your head and you're thinking, why won't my image why won't it restore? What's wrong with my image? I made this backup, it won't restore. Why won't it fit? Well, anyway, that's why. Anyway, well, yeah, Halloween next week. That'll be interesting. Anyway, so I was going to make another video at some point, give you a little tour of Wileyville, which is in Second Life. It's a pretty interesting place, really. I haven't actually filmed anything there yet because I just wanted to give you a little idea so you can go and check it out. It's pretty cool. You can actually hail a cabin there as well. It's pretty awesome. You can actually hail a cabin while they're building Second Life. It's pretty neat. I like that little feature. But the reason I haven't done a video on it yet is because I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out a little bit. I'm trying to learn my way around it a bit because I don't want to be filming some X-rated material because there's quite a bit of that around in Second Life, and I'm trying to avoid some of those places. It's definitely not for kids. Let's put it that way. It's adults. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to play it safe. Really, stay away from that. Some of that stuff because it's not. I'm not into it. Like I'm not into that sort of thing. Anyway, but you do find it all over the place in Second Life. You can't really escape it. Really. I kind of find that the cannibalistic plants are kind of interesting. The ones that eat people. Oh, they're funny. My gun doesn't work on them though. It's just nothing. So that's a waste of time. You need something. Or maybe you need weed killer. I don't really think you can get weed killer in Second Life. I don't know. I'll have to find out. So anyway, I'm recording on my computer, by the way, at the moment because it says me copying it off my phone onto my computer, and I made another video on my phone the other day and it's too big. Well, it's not big, it just means I've got to encode it and shrink it down because it was like 2 gigabytes. Anyway, see you later. Bye for now. Oh yeah, delay.